Time doing a cooking stream a little over a week ago when we did the sauce video. I wanted to do another one of these because I just had a lot of fun, and I know some folks said they really enjoyed it. So today we're going to be making my special mashed potatoes, which are really just mashed potatoes with an assload of cheese in them, but they're still really, really good. A couple extra things you add to, so sit back and enjoy. We're going to go ahead and get started. Casey, I need you to man the camera when you're ready. We're going to take these, about a 2-pound bag of baby red potatoes. We're going to go ahead and wash them off real quick over here in the sink. Get all the dirt and grime and nasty stuff on them. That's, I don't know, just stuff that we don't want in our mashed potatoes. Get rid of that. So we should be good to go. Grab us some paper towels. And we're going to go ahead and start cutting these up. The reason I cut these up is they go quicker, and I'm impatient. So we're going to cut them into maybe eighths. I don't know how you call it. It doesn't have to be pretty or any sort of symmetrical. We're literally just cooking or cutting them so they cook a little bit faster. Again, my knife skills are mediocre at best, so our goal today is for me not to cut myself. And the reason I like to use red tomatoes over the standard russet is I think they have a little bit better of a potato flavor. They hold together a little better. And there's two schools on mashed potatoes. You either like them light and fluffy, or thick and kind of creamy. Russet potatoes make for really, really good, thick, creamy mashed potatoes, and if you're putting any sort of additional stuff in them like we're going to be doing today, it just makes it, I don't know, I just like it better. So we're going to start by adding these in, see if I can burn the hell out of myself here with this boiling water. Casey cleaned the stovetop right before we did this because I dropped some of these and we're going to throw them right into the pot. Before she... Ow, son of a bitch, that was hot. So I think we answered our question, will Henry burn himself today? Yes, he will. But we're going to endure. We're going to push forward through the pain. Alright, I think we're going to just about get into the end of these here. Oh, look, it's a cell phone with meat on it. That's fun. I think the other thing you probably noticed is I'm not taking the skin off of these. One, I'm lazy as hell. Two, the skin gives it a nice bit of flavor. It's not real hard or tough after you've boiled these for about 12 to 15 minutes, long enough for them to become tender, and you can mash them. And we just mash the skin right up with the rest of the potatoes. And again, I think it lends it to that that particular flavor we're looking for. Now, if we were doing this with big, like Idaho white russet type potatoes, absolutely I'd peel those, because those have skin that is tough as hell. And I'm not cutting these super small, so it may take us a little bit more than 10 or 15 minutes to stretch to cook these. We're gonna have a couple other items that we're to work on while these are boiling, in case we need some time to fill in. We've got some friends coming over this afternoon for a bit of a barbecue. I think we're really just gonna grill some steaks, but it may be too hot outside to grill, so we've got a plan B. In that pot. In that pot. Alright. So we've got this on high. We're going to add a wee bit of salt in here to try to keep this from boiling over. In fact, we're going to put a... I see you laughing at me about my wee bit of salt. You can go to hell. Alright. So. Huh? Shut up. Anybody who's looking for a wonderful used husband, give me a call. We are in the market. We're going to cheat and flip it over. Alright, so I, as a good old-fashioned Wisconsin boy, like really, really sharp cheese. One of the sharpest I know of, it's rather affordable, is Shame on Me Cabot. It's actually a cheese from Vermont. Pray to God none of the people at work can see that I'm using Vermont cheese. We're going to go ahead and start shredding this up. I'm going to shred this right into my bowl that I have the potatoes in. Give that a quick rinse. And I'm shredding this as opposed to just cutting it up because it's easier to mix into the potatoes once we've mashed them if it's shredded. So again, it's enough out of you. We're going to try to do this without cutting ourselves.
It's usually the goal.
And I suppose you could use a shredded cheddar that was coming from a bag, but I guarantee you're not going to find anything that's got that really, really sharp cheddar taste if it's coming out of a bag. A lot of cheese, especially the bag cheese by the big manufacturers. We're getting down to the end here. Let's do this without cutting ourselves. So we're gonna take that cheese nut right there. A lot of those bad cheeses that are made by big manufacturers are made to appeal to the masses, and strangely enough, it seems that the majority of people don't like really, really, really sharp cheese. Well, I think those people lead sad, unhappy lives, so that's why we're going to shred this cheese ourselves. Alright, we're getting slimy cheese hands. Hands off real quick.
That is really boiling over there, Henry. You might want to check it.
Oh, we're good. Turn it down a little bit. See, you laugh, but you add salt to boiling water because it raises the temperature and keeps it from boiling over.
I knew that.
Alright, so we got a second block of cheese here. Son of a bitch. There we go. So Casey, I know you've been born and raised here in Florida. Obviously not a cheese capital of the United States by any means. What is your thought on sharp cheeses? Are you a sharp cheese fan or a mild, like a Swiss or an American type cheese person?
I like the sharp cheese that you use a lot, and I also like the cheddar cheese, or I can't remember the name of the other one. But yeah, cheddar or sharp cheese are good for me.
I like them because you can add less of them to a dish or a sauce, and it still carries a lot of flavor through. Now, as you can see, we're using 2 entire blocks for 1 bag of potatoes. It's just, I don't even give a shit about the rules. I also probably didn't look up to see how many calories or how much sugar was in this beforehand, but you know what? We've opened the bag. We open all this cheese. The die is cast. It is done. All right. While we have a few minutes till our potatoes are ready to mash, we're going to do a couple things to get a head start for this afternoon. I said we're going to barbecue some steaks. And there's a couple ways you can do it. You can kind of dry rub your steaks or season them, or I prefer to marinate them. And I probably should have done this last night, and I think I'm frustrating the hell out of my husband by constantly moving around. He didn't realize that he had signed up for this, but he did.
I'm not going to move the camera over there in the fridge.
Oh, come on now. I want to see me. More importantly, I want to see our fridge.
No, they don't.
Oh, come on. So we have 2 packages of fillets here. And I could have gone with a tougher cut, especially that we're marinating. We probably could have gotten away with that. But, you know, anything worth doing is worth doing right. I don't know, we're going to need that here in a few minutes. We're going to do one of my favorite marinades. It is Italian dressing and a little bit of pineapple juice. So where did I put that Italian dressing? Aha! I got the tools, I got the talent. Alright. Something very, very quick and easy. This goes on practically anything you can think of. Chicken, steaks, stew meat. So even your lower quality cuts of meat, if you marinate it long enough in this, they will come out tender and delicious. And it's pretty hard to screw up. What's great is a lot of the flavor comes from the Italian dressing, but the acid in the pineapple juice is going to tenderize your meat. That's why technically I probably wouldn't have to do it with this, but I still like the flavor. So we're going to mix about half of that, and maybe a little bit more. I got some room here. And we're going to pour in our pineapple juice like so. Good stuff. We'll take our fillets. We're going to do 2 fillets to a bag. We want to make sure that they get fully submerged and just completely covered with this marinade. I don't necessarily need to go over this with a meat hammer or anything, but I am going to poke it just a few times so we get some holes in the surface. Do a little quick shake here. That's one. If anybody's tuning in, they're like, this is not what mashed potatoes look like at all. Fuck it, you got me. Alright, Grill Master. We may have to cook these fairly slow on the grill at a low temperature because these are pretty thick. Unless you want me to try and get a good cook on them in the oven first and then finish them on the grill.
We could sear them first and then put them on the grill. But either way, I should be able to cook them on the grill, no problem.
And we're going to reserve a little bit of that for basting. Put these in the fridge. I've got a couple other things
That's the fridge
that we're going to deal with. Alright. Because I am a sucker and I'm easily sold, the fish yesterday looked extraordinarily fresh. So we have a couple portions of salmon. Some of our folks coming tonight are vegetarian. I believe the actual term or the way that they said was, I'm vegetarian, but I eat a little bit of fish and chicken, which I believe actually makes you a liar. But we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to go ahead and make some salmon. And I'm not going to worry about doing anything with the salmon yet. I've got a few minutes left on these potatoes. I am going to make my glaze for the salmon though. One of the most common complaints I hear from people when they talk about what fish they like and what they don't like is they don't like salmon because it's a very strong fish. It's got a very fishy taste to it.
That's me.
I think he's a wuss, but I'm not going to call him out on that on,
You just did.
a live stream because that would be super rude. One of the things you'll find is that the easiest way to get rid of the fishy taste with salmon is to glaze it with something sweet. I know a lot of recipes out there call for maple syrup. We're going to try and cut back on the sugar, go a different direction with flavor. This is a no sugar added blackberry preserve. So it's basically just smooshed blackberries and a little bit of collagen type stuff to make it goopy. I really wanted to lick that spoon, by the way, but I'm not going to. All right, we're gonna turn the timer off because our potatoes are pretty close to done. But we gotta mix something with that blackberry preserves to actually give it flavor. Otherwise, we're just gonna taste blackberry salmon. That's no bueno. What we got here? I know air is what we're looking for. We're gonna mix a little bit of chili powder in with our blackberry preserves. And instead of heating this over a stove, again, I'm lazy and time is worth something to me. We're gonna nuke this for about 15 seconds while we take a look at these potatoes. Do I have a... If I don't, I'll spear one with a fork and attempt not to burn the shit out of myself. I love that all of our kitchen utensils play music. It's very festive in this house. Alright, I'm just going to run this under cold water for a very brief moment. I think that's perfect. Strainer down, turn our burner off.
Look at all that steam. It's like a steam bath.
I feel all starched. Okay.
Gotta open up your pores.
Whew.
Shaky
Right.
camera, sorry.
Alright, so we've got our serving bowl that we're going to put in the oven to keep warm. Alright. Let's get our masher and get to work. Where's our potato masher?
Try the other drawer.
Bam! Can I get a copyright strike for saying bam? It's
Yeah.
kind of Emerald's thing. I think it just makes me a poser. Alright, so we're gonna start mashing. Get in there. Get in there.
And what are you doing right now?
Right now we're mixing the cheese that we shredded into this. So we want to mix that cheese in while the taters are hot. Holy shit, did I just call these taters? I'm so redneck. We'll figure out what to do with the rest of that trimmed cheese here in a moment. And I said there's a couple other ingredients we add. Most people would say, well, you gotta add milk and you gotta add butter. And those people aren't trying hard enough. Because if you want light and fluffy, yeah, go ahead with milk, go ahead with butter. But we're not going for light and fluffy today. We're going for thick and creamy. So we are going to add first heavy whipping cream. Because I hate my heart. Let's go ahead and try to incorporate that in. We'll do a little bit more mashing here afterwards.
Try to get a close up of this. Oh, geez.
And instead of butter, I prefer olive oil. Because what's going to happen is we're going to put this into the oven on super duper low to warm. And when we do that, that olive oil mixed into those potatoes is going to give them a nice golden brown shine that says, I'm going to make your heart stop beating because it's full of cholesterol.
But these are badass mashed potatoes for a reason.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. Almost makes me wish I didn't have any friends so I could eat them all myself. Almost. Oh, we haven't added the final ingredient yet.
Oh, I need to put it down for a second.
Huh? All right. And lastly, what good are cheesy potatoes without bacon? Yes, I use bacon in a bag because I do. The one thing I'm not going to add because I am going to be cognizant of people's health. Normally what I do is when I cook actual bacon, I save the grease because nothing is better for cooking with than actual bacon grease. But we're going to be kind to the folks that are coming over to us today. I know they're a little more health conscious than we have been in the past. They're probably about as health conscious as we should be going forward. So that being said, we're just going to add some prepackaged bacon, maybe a little bit more. Maybe I can see if I can get some more of that cheese to incorporate too. Just taking all my willpower I have not to reach into that bag and pop a handful of the shredded bacon into my face hole. Because I am weak. Alright, so let's incorporate that in. In case you, because I love you more than life itself, I will let you lick the spatula. Alright, he's not going to lick the spatula. He can, you know.
Don't lick it.
Why? Okay. We're going to take and...
Since you're on stream.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. I've got nothing to hide. I'm not going to use this spatula again, that's why I'm licking it. Alright. So I think we've cleaned up most of our mess here. Last thing we're going to do is...
What are you adding?
These are chives.
Now, is that for flavor or for just looks?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both. They're not fresh. They're dried, so they're not going to incorporate as well It's fresh chives wood, but they're still going to give it a little bit of flavor. Not a whole lot though. Alright, last thing we need to do before we're ready to wrap up today is we're going to... Oh, that was a terrible idea. That was a bad idea. That was the spoon I stirred that chili powder with. That's no bueno. But, oh, raw chunks of chili powder. Our glaze for our salmon should be pretty much ready to go. May want to heat it up a little bit more. We're gonna heat that for another 15 seconds. Then we're gonna hang on to that and reserve it. Oh, jeez. Very good stuff. And then that'll be it. We're ready for...
Glaze the salmon on stream?
No, because I'm gonna do the glazing right before we start cooking around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So that should be everything we have for prep today. So we will try to take a few pictures, post it to our Discord of everything when it's done, or as we start doing the actual cooking. As always feel free to post any questions in the Discord, and we'll see you next time.
And you can join the Discord with the link I just submitted, so feel free. And we will be signing off for today. Thank you for watching.